While Soohyun continues to face backlash over his inappropriate relationship with Kim Saeron, attention has also shifted to his agency, Gold Medalist, which he co-founded with his controversial cousin, director Lee Sarang. With accusations ranging from lying and mishandling issues involving their actors to allegations of tax evasion and stock manipulation, it looks like Gold Medalist is heading toward collapse, and netizens are more than ready to see it fall. Talks about Soohyun leaving Key East Entertainment started floating around after his military discharge, but it wasn't until December 11th, 2019 that Newson officially reported he was parting ways with the company. Not only that, as the report revealed, he was planning to launch his own agency. Apparently, Soohyun was teaming up with his cousin, director Lee Sarang, who had worked on the movie Real and played a big part in encouraging him to go independent. According to the same reports, It's Okay to Not Be Okay was already lined up as his first project after leaving Key East. At the time, Key East responded by claiming that contract renewal talks were still ongoing and said they hadn't been told anything about him setting up his own label. Eventually, on December 31st, 2019, the agency made it official that Soohyun's contract had ended and he had chosen not to renew. However, they stayed silent on whether he had actually gone ahead with starting his own agency. The next day, news broke that Soohyun had officially joined a brand new agency called Gold Medalist, alongside So Ye-ji and the late Kim Saeron. Gold Medalist was an agency co-founded by Soohyun's cousin, director Lee Sarang, and producer Kim Mi-hye, who had both worked on the movie The Real. In the new company, Kim Mi-hye would act as CEO, managing everything from planning to video production, while Lee Sarang's role focused on working closely with the actors and recruiting new talent. Gold Medalist made it clear they were aiming big. An insider of the company shared that their goal was to become a powerhouse in the industry, not just by signing established names, but also by building a system to train rookies and shape future stars. Gold Medalist eventually built a pretty strong lineup, signing names like Sol Ina from Business Proposal, Choi Hyun-wook from Twinkling Watermelon, and Lee Chae-min from Crash Course in Romance, among others. But even with all that talent, the agency couldn't escape some major scandals. Their first big controversy came in 2021, when Ye-ji found herself at the center of a mess. As you may remember, she was accused of influencing Kim Jong-hyun's terrible behavior on the set and at the 2018 press conference for Time, which eventually led to him quitting the drama. Since Ye-ji was one of Gold Medalist's rising stars thanks to It's Okay to Not Be Okay, the backlash rocked the agency pretty hard. Things only spiraled from there. Ye-ji faced additional accusations, gaslighting, school mistreatment, and even lying about her education. Gold Medalist tried to do damage control, saying they checked with Jung-hyun and claimed the Time drama issues were nothing more than private relationship drama, but insisted that it wasn't Ye-ji's fault. They also denied the mistreatment and fake education rumors, but at the time it seemed like there was nothing that could be done to restore her career to its former glory. Even though Ye-ji left Gold Medalist in 2023 and slowly found her way back into acting, the agency's name didn't stay clean for long. When accusations against Soohyun later exploded, people started dragging Gold Medalist too, criticizing how they had handled Ye-ji's scandal years earlier and accusing them of making up things about Ye-ji to make her seem worse. It all started when one anonymous YouTube account claiming to be from a former Gold Medalist employee made some serious allegations. The user said they used to work for the company 4 years ago but got fired after leaking info about Ye-ji to Dispatch and OSN. According to them, the leaks were buried after Lee Sarang, Soohyun's cousin and co-founder of Gold Medalist, personally stepped in to protect the agency's image. The alleged former employee said that Ye-ji was basically thrown under the bus and was used to cover up bigger problems tied to Soohyun and his team. They claimed that some of the damaging stories about Ye-ji actually came from inside Gold Medalist itself, and that the agency even paid people to spread negative rumors. As for why Ye-ji stayed with Gold Medalist in the first place, the commenter said it came down to trust. According to them, Ye-ji believed in Soohyun, but ended up being used by the agency, which cashed in on her success. The anonymous user also brought up Jung-hyun, pointing out that he had once talked about suing his old agency for making up rumors about Ye-ji, but strangely Gold Medalist kept that quiet and never supported her publicly. They claimed that even when Ye-ji's second drama, Eve, aired, the company barely lifted a finger to promote it. The commenter hinted they knew even more than they were sharing, and ended their comment by saying they weren't too worried since they believed that Gold Medalist would eventually reveal their own mess. Gold Medalist, as expected, denied everything. They said the manager who used to handle Ye-ji had already quit and was just as confused as everyone else about the accusations. Even with the company's denial, people couldn't ignore the recent revelation that someone who had spread nasty rumors and lies about Yeji was actually a former staff member. It's unclear if they worked at Gold Medalist, but given everything else that was being said, many thought it was likely. On top of that, some fans pointed out that this wouldn't be the first time Soohyun supposedly used female co-stars to deflect blame when scandals hit, making the whole situation seem even more believable. Then came the Saeron situation, which had been talked about for a while and which exploded again after her family made serious accusations against both Soohyun and Gold Medalist. They claimed Soohyun dated Saeron when she was just 15 and he was 27, and that after her DUI scandal, Gold Medalist hit her with a certified notice demanding $700 million to cover fines and damages from the accident. Later on, it was claimed Saeron had begged for more time to pay back the debt, explaining she was struggling financially but promised she would give every cent back from the $700 million won. By December 2022, after her contract with Gold Medalist ended, Saeron had reportedly agreed to repay the debt, but with her career falling apart and her reputation damaged, she barely made enough to survive. She ended up juggling part-time jobs at cafes and acting schools, just trying to cover basic expenses with no real way to pay off what she owed. When Saeron kept falling behind on her debt, Gold Medalist sent her an official notice demanding repayment. After the first letter, Saeron reached out to Soohyun asking for help, but instead of getting support, she was hit with another notice. Her family later shared that the pressure and despair worsened her mental state and eventually pushed her to take her own life. The company's handling of Soohyun and Saeron's situation, including the unresolved debt repayment, lies about their relationship, among a plethora of things, caused a major backlash. Not to mention the accusations that they had made Saeron work without pay and that they were working with controversial YouTuber Lee Jin-ho to smear Saeron's name after her passing really made people turn against them. As a result, some celebrities distanced themselves. Yeji spoke out, urging people to stop associating her with Soohyun, while Seol Ina unfollowed everyone. Brands severed ties with Soohyun, and with the company's top star and co-founder caught in the biggest scandal of his career, Gold Medalist began to crumble. To add to it, in April, a netizen revealed they had reported Soohyun to the National Tax Service for suspected tax evasion. They pointed out inconsistencies in the company's financial records, noting a suspicious decline in income and a potential cover-up of Saeron's 700 million Korean won debt. This whistleblower's report has now been verified by the NTS and is under investigation. On April 11th, things took another turn for Gold Medalist when the Garosero Institute accused the company of being involved in stock manipulation. This came after KBS News reported on April 10th that Siwon School, a Kosdaq-listed company, was being investigated for potential stock price manipulation. The KBS report highlighted that Siwon School's stock, which had been stable around 1,000 Korean won 3 years ago, spiked dramatically starting in July the previous year. By April, the price had surged 7-fold, only to crash back down within 2 months after a coordinated sell-off. The Financial Services Commission noticed the unusual stock price movements and alerted the police, who are now investigating the trading accounts and tracking illicit profits. The Korea Exchange also confirmed that the stock showed irregular trading activity. Siwon School's majority shareholder, owning more than 50% of the shares, is reportedly an investment group that includes Gold Medalist. When KBS asked about this, a Gold Medalist spokesperson denied any involvement, insisting the company had no part in the stock's price fluctuations. During the aforementioned livestream, Garosero Institute referenced a KBS report revealing that the office building linked to the entertainment company in question was actually the same location as Gold Medalist. They also highlighted a recent sharp drop in the stock value of Golden Esco Limited, a company partly owned by both Siwon School and Gold Medalist. If that wasn't enough, Gold Medalist is also being accused of stock manipulation. According to reports, the company outlined impressive financial results for 2023, with sales reaching 1.65 billion won and operating profits of 2.76 billion won, a significant 61.7% increase in sales and a 48.4% rise in profits from the previous year. This marked the company's first time surpassing 20 billion won in sales, with net income at 2.22 billion won. Despite rumors of financial issues, the agency still holds 4.77 billion won in savings, indicating strong financial health. However, the situation took a turn when, on March 31st, Soohyun filed a 12 billion won lawsuit against Saeron's family and Garosero Research Institute, with the court requesting revisions to the complaint by April 2nd. A revised version was submitted on April 16th, along with a request for an extension. Speculation about financial difficulties grew after a media outlet reported that Soohyun had not paid 38.3 million won in court fees, but his legal team denied this, asserting all payments had been made. They clarified that the extension was needed to verify the identity of a defendant referred to as Kim Saeron's aunt. Meanwhile, concerns about breach of contract penalties related to Soohyun's advertising deals and the Disney Plus series Knockoff have been mounting. When it comes to Knockoff, which has a production budget of 60 billion won, the release of the drama has been delayed due to the ongoing controversy. Because of this, there are rumors that Soohyun might face damages as high as 180 billion won, 3 times the show's budget. However, it's expected that Disney Plus and the production company Arc Media will wait to take legal action until the situation settles. So it's safe to say that Gold Medalist situation doesn't look good right now. The agency relied heavily on 3 key actors, Soohyun, Yeji, and Saeron, to stay afloat while they focused on growing new talent. But with Yeji leaving for another agency and Soohyun caught in the biggest scandal of his career, the company is left in a tough spot. Choi Hyun-wook is one of their top stars now, but he doesn't have the same status as their previous leading actors, and his own personal controversies have limited his brand deals. Most of the other actors are still considered rookies, so without a big name to draw in revenue or land major roles and endorsements, Gold Medalist is struggling. A source close to the agency said that Soohyun was responsible for much of the revenue last year, so with him not being able to get roles or brand deals anymore, the company doesn't have a lot of time. Another source added that the pause in Soohyun's activities will hurt the agency badly, and even if he wins the lawsuit, it'll take time to rebuild his image. With their biggest stars gone and no clear backup plan, it's only a matter of time before Gold Medalist faces a full collapse, and netizens can't wait for it.